G'day, Andrew Whitney here, and I've had a request from a viewer to produce a video about the Agfa Varioscop 60 Enlarger. Well, here's mine in its rather 1950s grey, blue and orange colour scheme. This is a complicated looking, well-made enlarger which is built in the European tradition of a parallelogram swinging arm construction which allows quick image size setting with automatic focusing using its two factory supplied 60 and 105mm lenses, and it allows the enlarging of all negative formats up to 6x9cm. Now, a quick word about the Agfa company itself. It was originally founded in 1873 in Germany, and it was an early leading producer of colour photographic materials. Over many years it became a leading brand in traditional silver-based black and white and colour materials, chemicals and equipment, until the year 2004, when, with the rise of digital photography, it left the traditional photographic market to focus on digital, health and industrial markets. Its original founding date of 1873 is a notable date in photographic history because it roughly corresponds with the start of photographic enlarging itself, following the introduction of enlarging papers in about 1850. And if you were active in the film era of photography as I was, you will remember Agfa for their outstanding range of black and white and colour films and print papers. And they also produced some good quality cameras and enlargers too, including this Agfa Varioscop 60 enlarger, which was produced between about the years 1955 and 1975. Now, if you've looked at enlargers before, you'll know that two important points for consideration are the lamp house design and the negative carrier or carriers. This particular Varioscop 60 is fitted with the simplest type of condenser lamp house, intended for black and white printing, which is how I use it. But the upper part of the lamp house is easily removed and can be exchanged with other heads, such as a colour or multigrade head. You basically only need to match the circular 8-inch resting diameter here. This lamp house has a white reflective inner top shell, and it produces a medium print contrast with good grain definition. It's easily maintained simply by the replacement of a single inexpensive E27 mains voltage lamp. Like most simple condenser lamp houses, this one is designed to take the mains voltage Philips Photocrescenter 75, 150 and 250 watt white envelope enlarger bulbs. And I power my 75 watt Photocrescenter via a mains voltage Variac or a line lamp dimmer set at a slightly reduced voltage, usually about 10% down, which thus extends the lamp life considerably, especially given that these bulbs normally run in an overrun condition at mains voltage, which gives the greatest lamp brightness but with a reduced working life. I've also experimented with using mains voltage E27 base LED household lamps, and they work okay, but even the smallest and least powerful of them are way too bright, and thus give the most impossibly short exposure times. And I find that the incandescent Photocrescenter lamp running through a dimmer is much more workable. I use multigrade filter gels with mine rather than under the lens filters, and another video of mine here on YouTube shows you in detail how to adjust the lamp position for the most even negative illumination. What about the negative carriers? Two main carriers were made for this enlarger, and I have them both here. The 6x9 carrier holds all films up to 120 size between two plates of glass, the top one being an anti-Newton glass, whilst the 35mm carrier is glassless. Both carriers work well and incorporate 4-leaf internal masking all the way down to 8x11mm, which is the Minox subminiature format, and there's a notched sliding guide pin on each side to assist in centering differently sized films. With these negative carriers, you need to insert them empty into the enlarger first, and then insert your negative strip into the inserted carrier second. If you attempt to insert or remove an already loaded carrier, then you can easily scrape the protruding parts of the negative film strip as you do so. What about the lenses for this enlarger? According to my instruction book, this enlarger was supplied fully assembled with only its two lenses and condenser being separately packaged. The condenser is of the two-lens plano-convex type, almost symmetrical, and its two lenses are anti-reflection coated, and it can be removed from the lower part of the housing and dismantled for cleaning. I can say from experience that this condenser has excellent resistance to heat from the lamp, as demonstrated in my YouTube video shown here. In this enlarger, because of the autofocus function, the two supplied lenses have been specifically matched to the enlarger's two focusing cams, and to certify this we find a matching serial number on both lens boards and on the baseboard's nameplate. These lenses are special also in that they have specially sized mounting threads and are mounted in focusing helicoids, which are in turn attached to special mounting plates. So if you wanted to replace these lenses with something different, you might find it difficult to do so. My lenses are late model well-coated Magnelar 2s, apparently made for Agfa by the German lens maker Steinhill, and I find them to be quite sharp and satisfactory. And here's the address of a website which discusses in detail the various lenses which were supplied with this enlarger. What about the operation of this enlarger? Having inserted your negative, you raise or lower the head using a finger grip knob on the left and a locking knob on the right. As you raise or lower the head, the projected image enlarges or reduces in size at the baseboard, and an autofocus system keeps it in sharp focus as it moves through the autofocus range. It's quick to use and perfect for making both large and small changes to the projected image size. If you want to print larger than the autofocus range permits, then you can move the enlarger assembly higher up its cylindrical column and also rotate it about to project it onto a lower surface or onto the floor. Here at the column there are 3 preset support holes for use with a support pin, and you can also lock the chassis assembly at any intermediate height on the column without using them. The lowest support hole sets the enlarger to automatically focus on the white laminated baseboard itself. So if you're using an easel which has a thickness to it, then you need to raise the enlarger assembly to a higher height on the column to thus incorporate the height of the easel. This enlarger came to me with this black 27mm high spacing ring, which makes it easier for me to set the column height for autofocus use with my 2 lights easels, which are 25 and 30mm high. The middle hole, which is 60mm higher, sets the autofocus to focus on an Agfa Varioscop easel. More about this in a moment. The top hole position is the recommended maximum support height for oversized printing onto the baseboard, or when the upper assembly is swung about and projected onto the floor. Whether you're enlarging inside or outside of the autofocus range, you can manually focus or fine focus at any time using the lens helicoid, which is smooth and precise. You change the enlarging lenses by sliding them in and out of the chassis whilst lifting or lowering a respective focusing finger onto a left-hand or right-hand focusing cam. This enlarger is missing a swing-in under the lens red filter, which was available for it and which would be useful for black and white printing. Here's a complete Agfa accessory list from the late 1970s with original part numbers. What about this enlarger's size and weight? The 30mm thick baseboard measures 58 cm wide by 75 cm deep, and with the head raised to its highest possible position, you need 5 feet or 1.53 metres of table-to-ceiling clearance. The complete unit has an overall weight of 53 pounds or 24 kilograms, so it's an enlarger that you can just move about from here to there if you need to without giving yourself a hernia. There's a very smooth mains voltage on-off switch at the left side beneath the baseboard, but you should of course enlarge using a more precise electrically connected timer. Overall maintenance is easy, with just a drop of oil needed occasionally at obvious bearing points, and a little grease applied to the rubbing parts of the negative carrier, filter drawer track and lens board. So there it is, the Agfa Varioscop 60 Enlarger with its 2 dedicated lenses. This is a relatively lightweight, well-made enlarger, which during the film era of photography was a favourite workhorse for high-volume commercial printing. So it should hold up well in your darkroom too. In its heyday, it was used with an 8x10 inch Agfa easel, which used the white laminated top of the baseboard as the paper support surface, and also with a pair of black and white and colour Variomats, which were electrically connected 5x7 inch snapshot printing easels, which provided both automatic print exposure and synchronised safe light switching. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.